Hi everybody, Josiah here, also known as Chilling Silence, and today we've got a bunch of cool stuff to cover off, so let's start off by looking at Digibyte.social. So, I posted this last night, just after the stroke of midnight, and it's a new way of doing social media where an individual company is not in control of what you can and cannot be posting. This came out off the back of the fun that everybody had with YouTube around about Christmas time this year, where all of their videos, all of a sudden, without warning, were just gone. Platforms were being closed down. Sorry, not platforms. Publishers were being closed down. And that kind of uncertainty around what is or is not acceptable is actually really quite scary if you are a content creator. So here we go. What I'll do is I'll bring up and show you the front page of Digibyte.social. Anybody who's used Twitter, Facebook, is going to look very familiar. Again, the main kind of thing, you've got your timeline down the middle. However, there's no stupid-ass algorithm with this one. It's all chronological, and I love it. There's no messing with it going, maybe you want to see this, maybe you want to see this. There's a bunch of people that interacted with this that you don't actually know, so here, see this. No, none of that. It is simply chronological, and I love it. I think it's great. One of the other cool things as well is there's custom emojis. Now, those custom emojis will also follow you through to your cell phone if you happen to have an app on there. If you have people who are also on a different server, say for example if they are on, let's say for example a Vertcoin.social server gets created. Again, they'd get to see those custom emojis as well, and you can interact with them too, so that's pretty awesome. Now, I'll quickly go through here. I mentioned a bunch of things in here, what it is not. This is not going to replace YouTube. Now, one of the things though, anybody here can participate, and we want to encourage more people to do so. Obviously, because you then get the benefit of the network effect and the likes, but I think that we can have some really good discussions and not have to worry about your data remaining on a third-party server that's owned just by Twitter or owned just by Facebook. And I actually go into this here as well. If you want to move your account, you can do so, and you can basically grab your data, pull it down, and take it with you. So that's pretty cool. It's really nifty. Now, this is not specifically on the blockchain. I'm sure I mentioned it somewhere on here as well, that it is not on-chain. It's in there. But now the reason that we don't specifically want it to be on-chain is because obviously people then change. Like every time you make a post, you've then got to think, oh, is this going to be stored on a blockchain in perpetuity, forever? My old opinion will be forever viewable. You know, that kind of thing is not something that I really think is beneficial when it comes to social media. So, Digibyte.social, there is nothing stored on a blockchain. Eventually, I would like to have tipping available. I think that would be a great idea. But for now, we have Digibyte.social. Anyway, so one of the other things that's been talked about recently, so Jared Tate has mentioned there is the possibility of a DigiDollar. Now, this would be something similar to Tether, but not backed by, again, the whole central company. If you have a look at Tether, for example, they have never actually been audited. Not properly, at least. So there's no checks to make sure that, yes, the $4 billion that they say they have, they've actually got sitting in a bank account somewhere. They actually changed their, what was it? Their backing. So previously they said that every time you buy one Tether US dollar, that one Tether US dollar is backed by $1 in a bank account. That's now changed to say it could be $1 worth of gold. It could be $1 worth of debt owed, for example. So yeah, that's kind of shaky, and the idea behind a DigiDollar is going to be that it's not reliant on a central company or entity for any given, I suppose, auditing of funds. Anyway, so going through here, we have thought of a very innovative way to back the DigiDollar with Digibyte as a reserve asset, without any need for dealing with banks or APIs. Now, this was originally mentioned, actually, I think it was in here. He says, it's time we make the DigiDollar USD stablecoin on the Digibyte blockchain. But just to clarify, no actual work has been done. There's been a lot of brainstorming, and I suppose I actually mentioned this in one of my tweets, that it is very much a case of some great minds sitting down, getting together in a room, thinking up some great ideas, thinking about ways that those ideas are bad as well, so that we can play devil's advocate, thinking of ways those ideas could subsequently be attacked, and then mitigating that. And what we've come up with is actually some really cool stuff. Super, super excited. Don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, though, about how it's going to happen. Now, to be frank, this is probably not something that's going to happen in January. It's probably not even going to happen in February, but we're going to start laying the groundwork, and over time you'll see that kind of build up and happen. And the idea, like I mentioned, is that this will happen not in a centralized manner where you've got one company going, yep, we're holding all of the funds in the bank account, but instead is going to be a distributed stablecoin. So anyway, I'm really super excited about that. Why did I have this one open? Here we go, last one as well. Happy New Year, 2020. Here's to a brighter and more positive year. Something I'd like to try myself. I'd especially like to thank a couple of people behind the scenes, the likes of Amar and Laura Taylor, who've been very good at prompting me in that direction. So here's to a more positive, happier 2020, and I'll talk to you in the next video. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.